the thunder!
The rest of the episode is way more fun than this right now. I don't know if you realize there's an actual tornado warning.
Oh, that was bright. David's not here yet. It's Monday morning, and he has no idea that I bought us a pickup. I bought a 1950 Ford F6 2-ton truck. For this episode, we're gonna drive from here in Georgia at my house all the way to Milwaukee for the Carcraft Summer Nationals. The original plan was to take a fast car there. And I didn't buy a fast car at all. I bought this, which much lower, much shorter, is just as cool as a fast car. I want his natural reaction, so we're gonna put a bag over his head so that he can't see the truck before he gets here in front of the camera, and we're gonna put Freiburger's face on it. This is gonna be fun. He might hate this. He might hate this totally. Good. Left and some brake. Brake, 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 brake. Stop! Wow, that was close.
I feel pretty good. Yeah, I feel taller. I feel chicks are gonna dig me more now.
Oh, this isn't embarrassing for you at all.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. All right. All right, I like it. That's 49 Ford.
You're close. It's 50.
50?
Yeah.
Flathead V8?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it run?
Yeah.
Wow, this is in good shape. I really didn't expect this, yet at the same time, it's not a big surprise. We've been talking about doing something like this for a long time. Wow. This is actually like new.
This was a dump truck for a lot of years.
So what do we have to do to it?
Well, that's a bigger discussion. What I'd like to do is take these wheels and move them here.
Oh, we're gonna shorten it up?
Yeah, and then lower the front, and I have a beer keg that we could turn into a gas tank.
This thing could not be easier to shorten.
Right. Oh, dude.
I know.
Pop the rivets off and just slide it all forward and cut the back of the truck off.
Well, I say we start doing the rear end now.
Okay.
Ready?
He said yes. He said yes. This is a 1950 Ford F6 2-ton truck that is powered by a 100 horsepower flathead V8 and is backed by a non-synchronized manual transmission.
Miller.
The truth is, I bought the Ford from a farmer who towed it to my house, so I've only driven it into my driveway, and we quickly found out it doesn't fit in my garage.
We're gonna have to deal with brake lines and drive shaft, and that's really all. The plan here is to take the 4 leaf spring perches and simply slide them forward on the frame. So the first thing that we needed to do is get out the impact chisel and knock out all the rivets that are holding the thing together.
This is going pretty good, actually. We've got almost all the rivets out. I think we're gonna have to plasma cut some of the harder to reach ones. But after we do that, we're literally just gonna take the rear end and roll it forward on the chassis and then weld the brackets right back together and...
Leave this afternoon.
Yeah, what he said.
Not that loud with headphones on. Even in a shop, it's roadkill.
What do you think? 2 more pieces of my garden stacked on here? Will that be enough?
Wow.
Okay, so if I put wood on that keg, can I get a jack stand on there now?
Yep.
All right. I don't hear anybody objecting, so it must be okay, right? Or are you just afraid to talk? Oh my God.
What's it gonna do? Fall past the rear end?
I don't want to crush our gas tank.
I don't want to crush my finger. This is looking pretty sweet. Wow.
I love it.
It's pretty good. It's a little bit raked.
Oh man, but it looks like this is how it should have been. Like if you don't have a bed, this is what you need to do.
It looks like an airport tug.
Yeah.
I suppose this isn't really the approved method for this, but there is no solid method. So instead of going for the stack of wood, we're gonna get his engine hoist out and hook it up. We have to lift the rear end higher so that we can get enough room to work on the leaf spring hangers. And he has to move his golf cart.
Right now, I'm taking out the carrier bearing for the front half of our two-piece drive shaft. We no longer need a long two-piece drive shaft, obviously. And we can't lower the frame down right now because the drive shaft is now gonna hit the top of the rear end. That's how far forward we move this thing. Oh wait, hold on. Notice that we're doing all of this before we even bother to test drive the truck. Let's look at Frankenstein.
Will it be cool? Whoa!
It won't be cool if it runs into that trailer.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. It's great. I absolutely love it. This thing is so cool.
So the truck is pretty good, and what we're trying to do to it here is not rocket science. We should be able to get it done quickly. I'm just concerned that we're 800 miles away from Milwaukee and the Carcraft event. 275 miles a day, something like that, which is kind of a big chunk for a 50 Ford F6 with a flathead in it that who knows how many miles are on it and how much oil it's gonna burn and what it's gonna break. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, it came up.
Oh yeah.
Nice. The other side might need a little smack, but
I think you could kick that with your foot and that would come down.
you could roll the truck away from it. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
I wanted to come watch.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Way better. It does not move at all.
That's all tire flex. This is the best day at work ever. Look what we made. We took a 2-ton truck with a 10-foot long bed and made it that big. It's perfect. It's everything I wanted. I don't care how it rides. I don't care how it drives. It just looks cool. That's a good celebration.
Could be more.
I mean, it's not a beer, but
Well, it could be if you went upstairs.
you want a beer?
Yeah.
What flavor of Mexican do you want? I got them all.
Pacifico.
I might have drank those.
It's Tuesday morning now, and we got a lot of stuff planned for today that will prevent us from being anywhere on time. Probably most crucial, we gotta make the brakes work on this thing. They're really, really bad, but then we have a whole bunch of sort of non-essential things that we'll probably do first. Here's the other thing we need to do, and this is probably most critical to our kidney health. We gotta pull some springs out of this thing. It is rock solid, no suspension, and I think we can lower it almost 3 inches just by pulling leaves out of the pack right here. See how it's picking the whole truck up? There we go. Oh, water's coming out of it. That's nice. A bunch of water started pouring out the pinion seal. So there's 2 problems. The pinion seal's bad, and it's full of water. Awesome.
And it didn't leak before. So just undo that thing you did. So So today's drama begins yesterday, actually. Trying to stay ahead of the game. We know we're leaving tomorrow. So yesterday, I measured for the drive shaft length, dropped it off so the guy could shorten it. And then when Dave pulled half the leaf springs out of this thing and dropped it down, that changed the measurement by 2 inches. So he built our slip yoke fully extended.
Looks like it.
There would be no jumping this truck.
There'd be no driving this truck because it won't get from here to there.
Well, there's a combination of faults here. It's definitely not my fault.
We're making a list of the criticals instead of the wants. We got taillights, brakes, battery mount, fluids, U-bolts, drive shaft, tires is a biggie.
When I bought this truck, I told the guy I'd give him his full asking price if he put a new set of tires on it because these tires are shot. Today he's supposedly bringing the tires and it's 12 o'clock. So I'm starting to have my doubts that Farmer Ted's gonna show up with the tires for this thing.
If the tires don't show up, we hit the road and see how far we can make it before these dry rotted things fly into a million pieces. But since the truck's only gonna go about 25 miles an hour, they're probably good.
Let's be honest, we need to do things that make the truck run, like adding a completely different fuel system.
Yeah.
Even though we have one that functions.
Does it function? It smells like varnish.
Oh, well, see, there we go. We can't use
terrible.
it. Can't use it. So we're gonna use a beer keg and turn this into our gas tank because that is crucial to, you know, making the brakes function and testing the motor and getting to the event.
The wheels on this thing are the old split rim type, which no tire shop anywhere will touch. Literally, these things are known for killing you, as you have to bust the wheels apart and take the tubes out of them. And then dude shows up. Dude is a monster, and he goes full Viking on these things. Meanwhile, we're doing critical work.
Oh, that smells amazing. Ow! I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you that it was coming because that would have made it better.
He did that on purpose.
I didn't.
Yeah, I think that's much better.
Now we have the dent here.
Oh, and did I mention that Finnegan's shop is air conditioned?
Well, the dent gives a character.
I'd rather be in Alaska than sweating like this. Man, that guy earned his money when he sold us this truck.
He never left. He didn't go to his shop to do this. He's a badass.
He worked all day, but got the tires done. By the time this guy got finished with all 6 wheels on the truck, we weren't even working on it anymore.
So the 55s go to the Carcraft Summer Nets too. I don't know if we mentioned that.
And the pilot truck is coming to pick this thing up tomorrow morning at 9.
For those of you that are not hip to the Blasphemi, here's the deal. It's a 55 Chevy Bel Air that David and I bought as a bare body. We dragged it up to Oregon, slapped a Jim Meyer Racing Gasser chassis underneath it, then stuffed one of David's second-gen Hemis under the hood behind a 6-speed Tremec gearbox.
So we're stopping our work on the truck we need to drive 800 miles that is completely sketchy to install a transmission on the perfectly reliable car that just drove 800 miles on Power Tour that we're not driving to the Carcraft Summer Nationals.
Because if we don't put the trans in, there's nothing holding the motor up in the car when it gets shipped to Carcraft Summer Nets.
So, yeah.
It all makes sense. This is going about as well as it always goes.
Of course, the car wasn't ready to be shipped and it still needed some work, so a 2-hour clutch replacement took all day for Freiburger and I.
So this is ridiculous.
It's Tuesday afternoon. We need to leave tomorrow morning, in my opinion anyway. We spent half the day battling the transmission in Finnegan's 55. It's still not in yet. The pilot truck's gonna be picking it up first thing in the morning. I still haven't fixed the brakes on our truck, and Finnegan's messing around with non-critical items, like the decorative gas tank.
Right now I needed a win, and this for me is a win. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm finishing up this brake line right here, and the storm is coming in, which is not that cool because this is as far into the garage as the truck will go, because I didn't lower it enough to solve that problem right there. Here's a never-before-seen because roadkill moment. We've stopped working not because of the hideous thunderstorm and rain, but because it knocked all the power out in the house. Beer?
I don't know when the power is going to come back on, but if it doesn't, the pilot truck will show up in the morning expecting to take the 55, which still doesn't have a trans in it. We really need to leave, but as you can see, Stubby's not together. So we may end up just driving the El Camino because that runs right now.
Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. This is my Red Bull face. The pilot truck is coming in 2 hours, and we still have the transmission out of the 55. We got to make this thing run and drive. Then we have to look at the F6 and decide if we have enough time left to finish it in time to drive it to wherever we're going, Milwaukee.
We're fine.
Let me just go ahead and mention the El Camino runs and drives really well. This whole...
Okay, up again.
Last step, putting in the door bars, and then we should be able to put this thing down, drive it away. And I'm serious. That is some incredible roadkill timing. We just shut the hood as the pilot guy was driving up.
That's one down.
Yeah.
Well, if you're betting against us, you lose. Because look, that car runs. It's not the car we intended to make run, but 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Yesterday we needed to make the brake system work, change all the fluids, rig up some sort of 12-volt battery and tail lights, and make ourselves a fuel system. Today we need to make the brake system work, change all the fluids, and then rig up some sort of a 12-volt battery and tail lights, and then make the fuel system work.
I don't know what time it is now, but it's way too late for us to be actually making it to Milwaukee on time. Finnegan's concept of 800 miles is not quite the same as mine. His concept of 800 miles is, let's make a fancy fuel system.
Four wheels, 1 keg. It's gorgeous.
You've heard that you're supposed to measure twice and cut once? Well, we measured once and cut twice. The drive shaft was made at the wrong length the first time, but finally we got the right one in here, and at this point we've done all kinds of work to the truck, made it look great, but we have no idea if it's even gonna make it around the block.
So we need this battery basically just for taillights. Why are we using an Optima? Because they give them to us, because they're our sponsor. Get over it. The battery that's free is the battery for me.
Oh, there's 2 more holes he still hasn't drilled in the front leaf spring perch. He hasn't changed the oil. He hasn't wired up the front half of the lights to a brake pedal switch. I'm really starting to question what he brings to the table right now. Let me get a drink.
The time has come. We're gonna pour gas in this thing and try and fire it up. We've got everything done that we need to get done to go give it a test drive, just long enough to decide whether we're actually gonna try and drive this thing 800 miles in the next 2 days or not.
Let's go drive.
Rochambeau for driving?
Sure.
Is this for driving or for not driving?
For driving, because I kind of want to drive.
Winner drives?
Yeah.
Fuck it, you can drive.
All right, that was easy. Finally, I win this. I never win.
So you'll note what I'm doing here is not so much pouring the gasoline into the new beer keg, but into the actual fuel tank in the cab.
We're missing a single fitting to plumb the keg.
Yeah, maybe on the road. At this point, we've worked on a couple different cars for a couple different days. We're way behind schedule for getting up to Milwaukee, and we're gonna go for our very first test drive. Okay.
Let's go. It's gonna be fun.
Rear end's in gear.
Rear end's in gear. We're rolling. Wow.
Oh.
We're moving.
Yeah.
This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay, let's go to second.
Double clutching. Oh! You have to match the engine RPM too. Ah. That's a flat spot.
Yeah, sorry about that. It doesn't ride that bad. Oh, corner's like it's on rails.
It has a pretty good turning radius.
Got it.
Coming to a stop.
Every house here has a barn find.
Did you hear stop?
Yeah.
I just worry about the 3 pump. Keep rolling, keep rolling. We can't stop. So we can't really drive it with that way, right?
Let me try to stop again.
Will it actually not come to a stop?
I mean, like for that deer?
Deer. Wow.
You gotta lay into it.
Nah, we can't drive that. The rear end came out of gear. I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
Our 2-speed rear end came out of gear. That's crazy. The drive shaft's spinning, but we're not going anywhere. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Oh, it's in gear now. Okay.
This feels good. This is a good truck.
Bye. But the no brake thing, that's a problem. It's a beautiful disaster. I mean, it doesn't work well at all,
Yeah.
but it is awesome looking.
Right, ready to take the El Camino to Carcraft Nationals?
I really hate to give up on this thing.
The thing is, if this was a regular roadkill, I would say let's just hit the road and go do it. But since we have to be there
On time.
on time, the other thing is if we don't show up, we're gonna let a lot of fans down.
But I think they'd want to see this.
Well, yeah, but if you
They won't
don't get there with it,
They won't see it if we crash it because there's no brakes. Yeah. So we just dumped a whole lot of time and effort into this, and it's still old and crappy and breaking down, and now we're not driving to Milwaukee in it.
so we're gonna go ahead and hop in the El Camino and get there. No more problems from this point on. Agreed?
In the meantime, I think it's just gonna sit over there and annoy my neighbor because it leaks onto his property.
We're gonna bring tools or meh?
No, if we bring tools, we'll need them. If I don't bring tools, it's
I
like
thought it worked
ambulance.
the other way.
It's
If
like
you
ambulance.
don't bring them, then you'll need them. If you do bring them, then you don't need them.
I have opposite luck.
This is gonna go fine. So what we're gonna do now is drive the El Camino 800 miles up to Milwaukee. We're probably gonna make it to Indianapolis tonight. That's the plan. Let's cannonball. Goodbye, truck. See you in about 3 years. Well, aside from a potentially deadly stench of gas from a leak that we can't find, everything's been going really smooth so far. We just stopped in Nashville for lunch, and what's really cool is we got fans coming out and checking us out because we're running the live GPS map off the phone. One guy here's got a really neat little RX-7, and he's gonna come and have lunch with us right now.
I'm ready to pass out from the fumes. We're driving down the road and it's just peeing gas out of the vent. Yeah, this is strangely familiar. I think episodes 7, 12, 19, 36, pretty much every time we get in an old car, we suffocate.
Morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
It's Friday morning now, and we made it to Indy. Yesterday,
Friday.
8 hours on the road, unusually reliable. When all we have to deal with is a fuel leak, that's hardly roadkill at all. But that's actually because the El Camino is quite a bit different than the last time you saw it on roadkill.
This is my wife's grandfather's 1969 El Camino. We've added 14-inch wheelwood brakes, a Gearstar 4L70E transmission, and a complete ride-tech coilover suspension. It corners hard, it runs hard, it's awesome, except for the fumes.
We got 24 miles per gallon yesterday. This thing really shouldn't even be allowed to be on the show. We need to get the Summer Nats and get the Blasphemi and go racing. That's my plan.
Yeah, because we could break that.
Fear not, audience. More breakage will ensue.
Always does. Always does.
This was like the easiest roadkill trip ever, except for this. We were 1 full day late. I got barbecued by management and let down a whole bunch of fans. But the good news is that the CarCraft Summer Nationals is going off. On Saturday morning, the place was packed and we went out and hit the autocross.
I'm confident that we will beat the kid with the stock 4-cylinder Ford Ranger who ran a 36.5-second lap. He had less than 100 horsepower. If we can't beat that, let's just burn the internet down.
You heard it here, folks. You're driving first.
Gosh. All right, ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
Right. Big left. Oh, cone.
Ah, no way.
It might not have fallen over. And big right.
The engine keeps shutting off, dude.
Here's the finish. Just roll it. There you go.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank
34,997. Results do not include penalties.
Oh.
So yeah.
Go again?
So yeah, officially you gotta go again.
All right.
There you go. Yeah.
There goes Tangent again.
Yep. That's a bummer. Yeah. Good. There you go. 34,351.
A little quicker.
Yep.
You want to take a crack at it?
Yeah.
All right. 34.35 seconds. Suck it, Ford Ranger kid. I don't care if you do have a 4-cylinder, you lose.
I'm gonna drive now. I've got the advantage of having seen the track, which he didn't on his first pass, but I'm scared of the brake pedal action on this thing. Ready?
Yeah. Too early.
Yep.
Oh, too wide. Oh, that's a lot of cones.
Wow. That power steering is weird. Here, grab the count.
I'm not quite sure where this came from, but it doesn't belong to us.
That was awesome.
Hold on, get your slip.
Exactly.
We'll go, and then you can embarrass us.
I'll embarrass myself. Again.
Yeah, go one more lap, we're out of here.
You think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, ready to crash again?
Let's go. Good hole shot. I like it.
Oh, was that a cone?
That might have been a cone. I don't know if it went down, though.
Water bottle under my foot. Oh, well. Thank you very much. That is unbelievable.
That is unfortunate.
I know. Here's the thing. We humiliated ourselves in front of like 1 million viewers every single episode.
Right.
And I'm like, whatever. But doing it in front of like 75 people standing around here in the grandstands is much worse.
I respect the fact that you're not saying I threw the water bottle into there, you know, or that it was my water bottle that landed under the brake pedal. I didn't need to, clearly. I own this course.
I'm gonna be relentless tonight when you suck in the 55 and miss shifts.
I can't suck in a 55. Okay, I'm running.
You know, I could be wrong, but this could affect our plans to go to the drag strip tonight.
Nah.
No? We can still go. This is what it's like to take a shower with a dozen people. It's exactly what it feels like right now. Yeah, we're in Wisconsin. Strange things happen in Wisconsin, like curds, AMCs, and the sun coming out and being like 80 degrees and humid like 20 minutes after the thunderstorm and the tornado.
Those pants are gonna work out real well for
Yeah,
you.
you know what the good news is about that though?
The pants?
No,
Oh, what?
we're going drag racing.
Yes, we are.
Heading over to Union Grove, Great Lakes Dragway. Let's do this.
Oh my God, we are here at Great Lakes Dragaway in, where are we?
Union Grove, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah, where the cheese is and where the rain's gone, and I get to finally drive my car with a decent set of tires on it.
Earlier today, we were at the CarCraft Summer Nationals, which is a car show. This is the CarCraft Midnight Drags, which is a car race.
So this car has been to a drag strip one time. And it was on these tires, the same tires, the Firestone cheater slicks that we drove cross country on last summer. And they've got, I think, almost 7,000 miles on them. And the thing about them is they're a really hard, indestructible tire. Like, they're not worn out, but they also don't hook. So this is the first time I'll actually go down a drag strip with a decent soft set of slicks on this. So far, it's been 11/16 at 131 on these tires, just spinning the whole way. So I'm excited about this. My goal is wheelie, and if I can't wheelie, try to get in the tents. Hey, Dave. Hey, Freiburger.
What's going on?
We got no slicks tonight. Oh, we got one slick.
What happened?
Well, they drilled the other bolt pattern too small. I can't get the lug nut in.
That's a because roadkill.
Yeah, that side's drilled fine.
It's full on
wheels
because
on the
roadkill.
car. Had the new wheels drilled with the bolt pattern of the car. One wheel is drilled with the hole large enough for the lug nut I have. The other wheel is not. It's drilled one size too small. Anybody got 9/16 drill bit?
Did you find anything? Nope. You need about a 705 hole, and the holes were so small it was like a press fit. So he's run off to a local machine shop to try and get the holes hogged out so that we can actually race this garbage tonight.
We've just been saved. Absolutely saved by, it's SRT, right? Yep. Yeah, SRT racing engines, 3 miles from here. And I don't even think 3 miles from here. Pick me up, pick the tire up, go to their shop. We didn't even have to drill the wheels out. He just deburred them.
What's going on here tonight is that there's a lot of overflow racing from the rain earlier in the day. They got a lot of bracket cars, some bunch of nostalgia cars, things like that. And there's the Carcraft Midnight Drags thing going on, but all we're really doing is test and tune. We're not racing against anybody except for ourselves and our potential breakage.
Well, as far as I know, the car is ready. So I'm suiting up, I'm gonna get in. We'll go see what she does with some new tires here in Wisconsin. Tires are sticky. I launched at $3,000, which before you could never do with this car, and it immediately stuck. And I was like, whoa, traction! So I went right to the floor, and the engine bogged, and the car was kind of hopping a little bit. And when it finally straightened itself out, it went 1180 at 128 and change. So it's a lot of mile an hour for a really bad ET. So if we can get the suspension ironed out and make this thing leave hard, you know, we could get in the tens. Totally could get in the tens.
Our first pass is over, if you could possibly call it a pass. I got to admit, I don't know exactly what's going on with the car. We had that porpoising action really bad. Probably my bad on setting up the shock absorber deal. So we've returned to a neutral position on the shock so that I can sort of start from a more regular baseline to find out what might be going on. And are you gonna launch with more RPM?
I'd like to. Can
okay.
I? All right.
Go to town. Not my car.
It's 11:45. This is almost over. We're gonna get in line, try to go one more time and make a halfway decent run, because so far we've just battling ourselves. You know, we have traction now, and now we got an engine that bogs. So we got out the laptop, tuned it a little bit. I think it's better. We'll go find out. That could have gone better.
How can I fail thee? Let me count the ways. We built a shorty truck that was really great around the block once. Brakes died on that thing. Had a great drive in the El Camino all the way up to here.
We learned how to boil gas.
But that's technically a fail because there was no Roadkill entertainment there, so that's a big letdown. And then out on the autocross, I completely drove over cones and then got a water bottle under the brake pedal, so that was good. How was this?
Oh,
here,
this
drag strip.
You know what? I gotta be honest. I was just happy to drive the car.
Yeah.
As bad as it went, I was just happy to drive the car.
A lot of fail in one episode. I've been awake for 24 hours now, and so we're gonna call it a wrap on this episode of Roadkill. Not starting just yet.
If anyone, turn right, turn right. Where are you going?
Oh, I see. There's a dog chasing us.
Yeah, she's gonna run in front of you. Okay, I'm gonna march you.
Okay.
All right, you're good. You're good.
Let me hit the deal with the pilot truck.
There's also a nice test directly above you.
Here, 1 second.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Ah, that's a little cold. Oh, is this the sideways rain I've heard about? Okay.
Now can we go in the pilot truck?
I love earthquakes. I'd trade one of those right now for one of these.